Welcome to the Watch, Play, Chill podcast. Today we'll be talking about the first episode of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. Then we'll be talking a little bit about the Wednesday trailer that came out, Cuphead Season 2, I don't really know what it's called, but then some Pokemon Unite announcements have been happening. So yeah, She-Hulk. She-Hulk. Before we get into this, are you feeling the Marvel fatigue, Vissaw?
Yes.
Or are you not, because you're kind of newish?
No, I'm still newish. So I'm like, I enjoy I think the She-Hulk is the first series, I guess, that I'm excited for it. Like I enjoy it. I enjoy like law shows, so I'm okay like with it. And I enjoyed the first episode of it. We're gonna talk more about it, but I enjoy. But I'm still like, I'm trying to keep up and watch everything. But in the last 2 weeks, I think I haven't watched anything. And then I'll try to watch another movie and then go from there every once in a while. Watch something. So
yeah, I asked because this is no fault to the show. I've heard people talk about this superhero fatigueness, and I've believed it and I haven't, because people are like, oh yeah, people have superhero fatigue. Then like you go to look at their box office numbers and their banger numbers. Like obviously it's not super true. But now I think I'm starting to feel maybe what they're saying, because like I wasn't like blown away. Like it was a good episode. I was just like, man, like it actually felt like I was forcing myself to watch it. Once I started watching it, it was good, but like I was like, okay, I gotta like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I guess I am just feeling fatigued, which is really odd, because I have never been fatigued of stuff, even when I hate it. Well, when I say stuff, I mean MCU stuff. But yeah, maybe I'm still in that camp, because I'm still gonna go to every movie and stuff, but it just feels more of I think chore is harsh, but I guess we should just get into the episode. I just thought that was an interesting thing to point out. Like I have never felt that until this morning. I can't believe I was thinking I wouldn't watch this right now if we weren't talking about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe that's one of the reasons too. Maybe like because we had like this She-Hulk will come on Thursday. And for example, that's the first thing I need to do in the morning for us to talk on the podcast. So maybe having to do that in that timing, right? Like because we have just so little time between the episode and the podcast. Right. So maybe that's one of the reasons that you can feel a little forced more than the others, where we have like more time, where you can find a good mindset where like, yeah, I'm gonna watch a show now. So maybe that's one of the reasons.
And that's probably it. I think it's the shows I'm probably having fatigue of. I don't think I'm having fatigue of the movies, because shows feel like a lot more commitment. Like it's not, you go to the theater, then you're done until 5 years when the sequel comes out or whatever, or maybe 4 to 6 months when the next Marvel movie comes out. No, it's like every week.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's actually get into it. Overall impressions, I think it was good. Obviously it's just the first episode, so I'm not gonna give a final rating. I will say I'm kind of glad we actually got like the origin story in the first episode. I feel like with all these other Marvel shows, the whole season is the origin story. So it just kind of feels like an elongated movie in a sense. Like Miss Marvel, I don't think we saw Miss Marvel's outfit until the final episode. Moon Knight, like the whole season was about him we were trying to figure out who Moon Knight was. What else was there? I guess Loki, like the ones that weren't, first introduced. Of course, those aren't origin stories, but even for Falcon Winter Soldier, it was kind of an origin story for Captain America per se, the whole season. So I kind of like how the whole first episode was an origin story. Like now, like I'm actually a little excited for next week, because I'm like, okay, now we're moving on already. At the same time, I did feel the origin was a little convenient. I guess we can get into that. We're gonna start talking about spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, watch it, come back, or if you want to listen to it. So there's your warning there. Yeah, what are your thoughts on the origin?
Yeah, I think it was, like I said, it's convenient. It was like super, the way he becomes a Hulk and everything was yeah, that's that. They got into an accident and they, there's the blood and that's it.
I don't buy that at all. Like, it didn't even look like they were next to each other. And Hulk has been in like so many fights before. Like, how come other people haven't had mixed blood? Like, this was like a car crash. And I'm not a car crash expert, but I imagine a lot of car crashes aren't, the people. You're on your separate sides, and like while in a war, per se, an Infinity War, there's a lot of collision going on. But you know what? I don't know. I don't know how else I'd want them to do it, because do I want them to like make it more elaborate? I don't know if I did, but it just seemed convenient, like really convenient.
I feel like, I don't know. Maybe it's like, it's okay. Like, if it was more elaborate, maybe we'll hate it more.
Right, exactly.
Because then you see like it's way too convenient that everything happened for her to become a Hulk, and then this way it's just like, yeah, okay, got into a car accident. I didn't think too much about it. I just went with it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, she turned into a Hulk. I think it was, I think that it's not like the reason I watched the show, right? Like, it's just like one thing that happened, so I don't I don't put too much pressure into it. Well, yeah, she become the Hulk. I don't know. If it was another reason, I would accept it anyway. If it was like, out of nowhere, she, I don't know, the organism, she ate something, and then all of a sudden she would become the Hulk. I don't know. I felt like I could pass anything.
Yeah, I don't know, because I'm critiquing when in a world I love Spider-Man, where it's very convenient that a spider with superpower, venom, whatever, drops on a teenager and bites them.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have a problem with that because it's just so new. But like, mixing blood is like a real thing in our world. It's like something that can happen. And you're like, people that get in car crashes often don't mix blood, so maybe, I don't know. But anyways, as far as, oh man, I actually really had positive things to say. Maybe it's just the whole origin, but yeah, it just, even her like learning her powers, I felt like I don't know, like I don't know if I want them to elongate it though, because I want to get into whatever they have to show us next. So it's weird. It's a complaint, but not a complaint. Like it's like this Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. Like, no one's complaining that like we didn't, they conveniently just said, oh yeah, he was bit by a spider. They didn't like go into anything.
Yeah.
And we just got into the story. And that's kind of how I feel here. I don't know. Maybe it's just different because Spider-Man, like, everyone knows the whole Spider-Man origin story. I think for me, it was just, I don't know She-Hulk very well. Because, she was a very, I'm going to say, I think she was a very sexualized character in the comics. Which is why, like, I never, would want my parents, like whenever I went to the comic store as a kid, like, I'd read them in there and, like, never buy them. Like, I don't want my parents seeing me eyeing a, sexy green woman as a kid. So, I don't know. I just, I want to learn more about She-Hulk, like, why she came to be. So, maybe that's why there's my little tiff. That's all I'll say about the origin.
Yeah. I know, for me, it was a positive experience, like, for the first episode. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy how it was. I feel like I said, it's just like one episode. They said a lot of things. They kind of like, okay, everything was fast forward in a way, because she already like, she can control it. She can do like everything that he took so long to do it. But it's okay, because like, I don't want to watch like everything again, I guess. Right. Because I remember watching the Hulk, like, and knowing everything that happened, and I feel like this show can bring a little more. What for me, it's interesting, and I'm excited for the other episodes. It's this balance of like, yeah, she's kind of a superhero, but she wants to keep her life, right? Because we have like, yeah, superheroes, and they turn superheroes, and that's it. And so the way that like she's, I don't want to be a superhero. Like, I just want to go back to my life and then be like that. And then in the end of the episode, I guess jumping the whole episode to say that, but she turns into, and then it's like, well, now she needs to deal with it, right? Like, the whole world will know. So I'm excited for, like, I have positive feelings towards like the whole episode. I think the way they talk to each other, the banter between like the two hosts, I think it was well done too. The way that she was learning stuff, and then she was like in a way better than him, and he was jealous about it while they're like he was trying to teach her, and she would like thinking that it would take time, and she was like, yeah, okay, that's it, and done. I felt like that was a funny bit in a super like light way to show stuff. And I like the fourth wall breaking. I don't know about you. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know about it yet because I think we only saw like 2 moments of it.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. Because fourth wall, like I feel like there's like never an in between. It's like it's either good or not. But she only did it twice in this episode. It was more for narrative purposes, so I don't really got an opinion on it yet. I will say a plus about the show, because something I critiqued in the trailers was the CGI for her. I think it's totally fine now.
Yeah.
It wasn't distracting at all. There's people out there that I feel like no matter how acceptable they make the CGI, they still like it's just never good enough. I didn't have any problems with it.
Yeah.
I like, it's a green girl. Like she looked a lot better than the trailers.
Yeah,
so much better.
Yeah.
Just smooth. It felt like I wasn't watching a computer.
Yeah.
Like she's totally different. Like her hair, they are clearly going for, nerd. Like she's not necessarily known as a nerd, but like a, I don't know, career woman, I guess you could say, who like puts career first over her, I guess, her own. I don't want to say hygiene. What's her self image? And then when she's She-Hulk, she's like this totally overconfident, free flowing hair, toned woman. So I think that's what they're going to be doing a lot of. So yeah, CGI is good in my opinion.
Yeah. I feel like we talk about it how in a way it's gonna look weird, right? It's a green woman. like Hulk looks weird. It's just because we're used to it by now. So in a way, like we don't care too much. And I think it was well done. I think there was no part where like felt like it was super weird or something, You're watching for a long time, like 2 Hulks. And that's probably like really hard to make the scene, because it's all like kind of all CGI, right? Like you have like two people on the screen and both are CGI, so it's probably hard where they're looking, how they talking to each other, the difference in the heights and stuff, and the changing. Did a lot of changing, like it did a lot of going back and forth between Hulk and normal. So and it all like it was really well done. When she went to the Hulk and then got back at one point, so I felt it was really well done. There was no part where I felt like it was weird at all.
Yeah. I mean, something we actually, I think, totally, I guess since we should get into the story aspect of it now.
Oh.
The first part was, just them driving in a car catching up with each other. Then that spaceship comes out of nowhere. I wonder when we'll see that spaceship again, because they kind of just threw it to the side and said, oh yeah, we'll have to deal with that later. And I don't know. I'm actually kind of nervous because a lot of MCU shows don't really get back to everything they say they will. So, I just feel like you can't just throw in a freaking spaceship and not get back to it. So I hope they get back to it. We'll see though, because it was definitely the excuse to make them the Hulks and stuff. But I was not expecting space people to be a part of this series. So this is going to be a lot more intertwined with the MCU, the MC universe, more than I thought. I thought it was just, I knew there was gonna be, some, what do you say, crossover, because Daredevil's supposed to be in this season and stuff. So yeah, I thought it was all gonna be earthly. But it looks like we're going cosmic too. So that's gonna be interesting, how a lawyer is gonna tie in with cosmic stuff.
Yeah. that spaceship was more convenient than the blood part. Because all of them
Well,
were like a
well, at least,
spaceship.
well, at least, well, I don't know because at least, wait, was that was that a spaceship?
Because
Wait,
they
what
were
did they
like-
say? Was that the
Yeah.
wait, or was that the? I'm trying to think now. Was that the Wakanda ship? Wait a second. Let me look it up. You talk while I look it up.
yeah, well, I think they said spaceship. I don't remember.
I think
from
didn't they
which
say? I'm
people.
just starting to think like.
Oh,
Didn't they say
was-
Sokovian or something?
Oh,
Anyway, I'm
maybe,
looking at
yeah,
that.
yeah. I'll never know that. But
Oh,
yeah, that-
Sakaran. Okay, so
Okay.
it is space. It's the.
Okay.
It's the. Did you ever watch Thor Ragnarok?
yes.
Okay, so it's like from one of those species in that movie. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. I went back
anyways.
and watched Thor
Cool,
Ragnarok.
cool.
See, now I'm getting.
There we go. Sakaran.
I'm watching
That's
everything now. And I will, in a couple of months I'll know everything. But yeah, it was a little convenient, but it was okay. Like I said, I don't know if they'll go back to it, but anyway,
The reason I'm not complaining
yeah.
about that convenience is like that's something like we already know of that like
yeah.
you know Guardian stuff will always get in
Because
the middle
like
of stuff.
if you think too much about it, it's hard to check like every point of it. Because at one point they just need to make it convenient, right, for the sake of story. Because or else they could be like, oh, they need to deliver a message. Like, why they gonna deliver a message on the road? Like, while they're driving, they stop the car, right? They would deliver it somewhere else, I guess. And so, but if nothing bad happens, then she'll never become a Hulk. So at one point, like something needs to go wrong for her to become a Hulk. So I guess they went with that. And I don't know how it's in the comics. So I don't know if they changed that or if that's how it is in the comics. And but I enjoy that too. And I'm excited for the story. Like I said, the thing about like not wanting to be a superhero and still having like the law part of it. I watched a couple shows that have lawyers, and I always found like interesting. So I kind of curious how they balance it out. A story, like her career with her being a superhero. Because I think they will try to balance it out between episodes. I think from the trailer, right? I think we'll have like some law moments and then some superhero moments. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for not just a superhero, because I feel like, the superhero thing works in movies. And it gets like way too much in the when you make a series. Like when you make a series, just like the superhero, they drag around, they stay like they take a while to do something that could be done in a movie.
Right.
Like, for example, I know it's kind of like a superhero, but for Obi-Wan that we talk about, if that was a movie, it would be like a great movie. But because it was a series, like they had to keep going and keep going and keep going.
They had to make everything at least 40 minutes.
Yeah. So it took a while, and then things were never resolved. Oh my god, like yeah, we got it done, and then all of a sudden, no, we're not getting it done. Like one more episode, and then getting it done. No, not getting it done. So I'm excited because it feels like this one will be a little different. It feels like this one will have like her own story, her career. I don't know how many episodes. Did they say how many episodes?
I think this one's an 8-episoder. Let me check.
Okay.
But yeah, I think 9. There's gonna be 9.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we've kind of we haven't gone into like too specifics, but I guess we should just say before we talk about, because I think the only story beat we get is right at the end.
Yeah.
I guess just moments we liked from her learning her powers, and nothing really made me laugh, but like it was all fun. Like maybe a lot of smiles. I think that's what I mainly got from a lot of it. Just her. Just them Hulk versus Hulk fighting. Like we haven't really got that yet, and some of that was pretty fun. And then they broke his bar. Like that wasn't nice, but and then there's actually my favorite thing was the running gag on if Steve Rogers, Captain America, was a virgin or not. I thought that was pretty good.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Tony Stark, they're kind of really sour on that guy. Like, I know they blame him for like half the universe getting deleted, but they'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is where me and Tony would talk about Steve." I'm like, geez, so pathetic. Like, you're literally going somewhere just to, I don't know, like, you know, people in life, like they only get their energy from like talking about other people, and those are very like, you know, and we're all guilty of this to a sense. Like, my wife and I try to be better at it. Like, you know, if we just went to some family gathering and there's one specific person like we have to talk about because it just frustrated the crap out of us.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it seemed like with Steve. Like,
yeah,
we just come here to talk about Captain America and how much he freaking annoyed us. Like,
yeah.
even his virgin status. Okay. Like,
yeah. That guy was really, really good. And there is like a little part in the end which is left after the credits, which is not like really the credits.
Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I don't know if that's confirmed or not though, because like I don't know, because Steve, like, I can kind of maybe believe Captain America. You know what is that like? Kind of it was kind of a one night stand they were describing, right? So like,
yeah,
I don't know. He's Mr. Perfect when it comes to that kind of stuff. He's old fashioned because, you know, he grew up in the 40s. Probably racist. I'm just kidding. Have you seen those clips where it's like if Captain America really was like who he was? Like, racial tension's a lot different. Anyways, those are some funny clips. But yeah, like I don't know. Maybe it was a lie because I think it'd be more believable if it was, you know, when after he unfroze. But they were saying, oh, back in World War, whatever it was. I got my wars mixed up. But the war he was in, he just got it on with some girl. And I'm like, I don't know about that. Yeah. Like, that's like when he was like really goody two shoes, like no exceptions to the rule. So I wonder if I wonder if that's not the end of their conversation, or it might be just the joke.
Yeah,
they wanted her to cut off her from saying the F word. So
yeah, I felt like it was funny because that's something that, you know, like fans could talk about it. So I like when they bring it up in the show. That's something like
right, that's true
silly, too. That like fans would create a theory about something like that, right? Like, oh, let's discuss, let's watch the movies and think, oh, when could he have done it? Like, where, with who? You know, there's something in the comics that implies that or not, and there's there's probably people already doing videos about it. So for me, it's always fun when they you know, joke about stuff like that, like joke about like other characters and stuff. I enjoy it. I feel like it makes it, because it is like, it's supposed to be a fun show, right? Like, I think I talk about in the Thor, in our Thor podcast. I like it when I'm having fun watching it.
Right.
And it can be like an action. I watched Shang-Chi, and then is Shang-Chi the name? Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was super fun. They like Jackie Chan type of fighting style, and it was in the movie. And then, you know, the movie had the funny beats and everything, so it was funny. I enjoyed that in superhero movies. So for me, the series, you know, like I said, I was like smiling. There was a couple phrases here and there, a couple blipping thirds that I had like a good laugh. I didn't like laugh, but I was smiling. So I'm excited for it. I'm actually excited to watch the other episodes.
Yeah, when you were talking about that, I actually kind of wish we had more focus on characters that represented the fans, in a sense. Because, you know, like my favorite show ever, The Office. You know, the good thing about some of those characters, I think Jim mainly does his character, although I think he's kind of a jerk looking back on it. But like he kind of represents us, like what the crap is going on in this office. While, you know, and I think they had one character like it in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They didn't do a lot with it. I think this would be something good if they focused more on it. What was his name? Was his name Enzo Ezra? I can't remember his name. But yeah, he was theorizing. So is Captain America on the moon? Like, fan theories that like, we'd have like, oh, did he really go back in time, or is he dead or alive? Because we don't have confirmation if Captain America is dead or alive. And then what you were saying, like his virgin status or whatever, like fans, theorize about that stuff. But now she's no longer representing us because now she's a superhero.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I hope they get a different character to replace that. Although I bet they won't because they haven't. But that just kind of sprung something I wanted.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we get to the end of the show where Titanium comes in. I believe that's her name. She's the main She-Hulk villain. So I think she's the one that we're going to see throughout this series. But yeah, she's already kicked to the wall. And yeah, it was pretty short. I was going to say more, but I think that was it.
Yeah, that was it. I feel like there's another thing that while we were talking, I was thinking, because I saw a comment in the fighting scene of Shang-Chi that summarizes like what I think about it, is that people from this universe saw so many things already that they don't feel like too afraid anymore. They're just like, oh my god, what's going on now? Like, who's the new thing? Like, they don't get like super scared. Oh my god, there's a new super. They're like, okay, another one. Like, and I feel like in Shang-Chi, like the guy gets his phone and start fuming. Like, hey guys, look, there's another fighting going on here in the bus.
Oh yeah, the stream. He was streaming it or whatever.
and the thing like in this show is kind of like that too, right? Like, okay, people were hiding, but they were not like, oh my god, like what's going on? They're like, oh, okay, now it's super fast. Like someone's gonna show up and save and whatever. So I'm excited for that, to see, because I think she will be around more civilians in a way, if that makes sense. Like we have usually superheroes hanging around with superheroes. We don't have or their families. And I feel like this one, in this show, she will talk more with other people who don't have powers. And then it will have the balance of, her being a superhero, everyone knowing about it. And she dating guys, and she talking to people at work, and she trying to defend her cases. At least from the trailer, seems like it. And I feel like it's something that, excited me to see how, how normal people would react in those scenarios, right? Like you're talking to a superhero, but how are you gonna be afraid? Are you gonna be excited? Like how it's gonna be? So I feel like that's something that I'm excited to see. I don't know about you. I don't know if it's something that crossed your mind.
Yeah, no, I think, I don't have anything to add to that. I think that's pretty explanatory. I am interested to see how much attention this will hold, because even though I think Miss Marvel is one of the better shows, I think it did the worst, like compared to any other one. And I think that's mainly just because like who the audience was targeted at. Like if you get more niche, then obviously you're not going to get as many views. And I wonder with this one, because like I know, I mean, I'd have to look it up, but I would literally bet like thousands of dollars that the majority of She-Hulk fans are male. Just because, I know there's, the cool thing is as time grows on, like, the male-female balance of fandom is becoming more even. But it's going to be mainly dudes, like a majority of dudes. There's obviously a large portion that are female. And I wonder, there's a lot of girly references, like, taking off her heels before a fight that, like, I can't relate to at all. And what I mean by that is, is a lot of the audience going to drop off? I'm curious to see the ratings for this. Luckily there is a, like I said, like a growing female portion. So I think that will at least keep it alive. But yeah. I'm just curious, after Miss Marvel being rated so low. Yeah, I thought it was like one of the better ones. So
yeah. That's something interesting, because while I was watching, like Beatrice wasn't watching with me because she was getting ready to work. Mm-hmm. And I watched it and I thought like, oh, she would enjoy like this show. It's a good show for, I guess, for us to watch together, because I know some of the phrases, some of the things, like the part where he says, you need to control your anger and your fear. And she's like, yeah, that's just being a woman. I feel like that was the part where I laughed, because that was like perfect. I felt like, Beatrice would enjoy that, because that's something that we
That was a good line.
tongue.
The only
Yeah.
reason I didn't laugh at it was I already laughed it in the trailer. So
Yeah.
but-
so I feel like
That was
you
a good
know, I feel like it's perfect for to bring a female audience into it. And like I said, I guess it's growing like more and more, right?
Right.
So
well,
it feels
that's my
like the
question:
perfect
is
show.
does it bring a female audience? Because once again, I'd have to look at the data, but I'm guessing I would put a lot of money down that more men like She-Hulk, because She-Hulk is one of the reason She-Hulk's getting a show is because it's one of the more solid, lesser known characters. And that's because men like She-Hulk, because majority of comic buyers back in the 90s are men. So but yeah, maybe I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's an opportunity.
I like looking at that data.
Yeah, I think it's more like an opportunity, not just like for the first episode.
That's a good point.
Yeah, maybe now you have more male interested in the series, because that's you have like more, I guess, more guys interested in that type of stuff. But we know it's already I don't know, like changing, but balancing it out as time goes on. And
Yeah.
and I feel like this show can make it better, can bring more attention to
Yeah.
a new audience.
Yeah, opportunity is a good word. I think the question is, will it lose men and will it gain women? I think that's what I meant.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Let's talk about our next thing. I guess we could talk about, actually, I want to talk about Wednesday. Wednesday. Now, if you're like, Andrew, why are we talking about day of the week? I'm not talking about day of the week. I'm talking about Wednesday from the Addams Family. Now, I saw this trailer, and I have no... Okay, we're talking before the trailer. I have no interest in watching this movie, but it's a trailer. It's 2 minutes. I'll watch it. What the heck? And I had some thoughts, and I didn't think we were going to talk about it on the podcast because, every time I don't know Brazil. I don't know what you guys do there. I don't know what you guys watch. Every time Vissaw talks to me about, the U.S. shipping stuff over, it sounds like he had to buy bread for $50 or whatever it is, because we're overpricing them on everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's no way he knows the Addams Family. Then he messages me, and I'm like, oh shoot, he does know. So, and obviously it must have impressed you enough too to want to talk about it, because
yeah.
I don't know, we're getting into a very dangerous world. Okay, when I say dangerous, I mean like media dangerous. Not dangerous is such a exaggerating word. But just where we're doing spin-off central. Everything needs a spin-off.
Yeah.
Everything. Like I'm not what was I just watching that's getting a spin-off? I'm trying to remember this one show, but it's like, I don't know, just too many spin-offs. And I'm like, do we really need a Wednesday show? Who's the daughter of the Addams Family? This trailer changes my mind. However, most spin-off trailers don't do it, and this, I literally got the chills watching this. I think the music's perfect. Just how I don't know. You just have to watch it. I feel like it's, you can explain horror to someone. This isn't horror, but I'm just like using it as an example. But horror is a very visual thing. I feel like this is a very I don't even think it's something you gotta watch. It's something you gotta feel. Because I've not felt that tingle down my back in a while, and it was like I just want to see more.
Yeah. I feel like to answer your question, Addams Family was very popular here. I feel like with old shows, we watch it. I feel like if it was a comic, it was harder to bring to other places because you had to, I guess, print it, and I don't know. But for Addams Family was very popular. The music, the opening, it was
Definitely
a song,
iconic.
Yeah, that everyone knows. It was kind of like a way to joke around. If something was kind of like creepy, you would sing the Addams Family song. So that's something. But I never heard anymore of Addams Family, anything new. I don't know how many years it's been that I saw a thing about.
They've had a couple animated movies. I haven't seen them.
Yeah,
but they've obviously done well enough that they've gotten a couple.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden I was browsing Twitter. Then I saw the trailer. Like, oh my god, it's like this looks really good. This looks like really really good. And so that's why I sent to you, because I was like, I was impressed with it. But from I was curious about it. I feel like I like these type of shows where there's. I feel like with old shows, maybe they didn't care too much about uh well, how can I gonna say that about like reality? I don't know. They just create like, let's create this creepy family and that's it, right? And then
Right.
let's make a show
They're a
about
fish
it.
out of water family.
Yeah, with no reason. There's a hand. There is a character. Well,
Right.
why not? Let's just put that. And so like bring that. Now I feel like that's good, because imagine if they create like Adam's Family now. It looks weird, like, why have a hand as a character? What's
Right.
the origin story of a hand? What like there are a lot of questions over it. And at that point it was just like, yeah, it's a funny
Right.
show. There's a creepy family that's like, it's a kind of fun, funny, creepy, kind of mix in between. And so I'm excited for it. I feel like
you kind of touch on one of my
Yeah.
worries for this show, which I'll get into at the end of the trailer. Because the thing I want to talk about that's so grabbing about the trailer is, there's this pool scene of these water polo boys, and she brings the piranhas and she puts them in. I'm like, oh, whatever, this is just a trailer. And then like they actually show us like that the boys like actually get like started to eaten by piranhas. And you're like, what the heck? Like, because usually when shows do that, they somehow make them get out at the nick of time. Like everything always ends up all right in the end. Like this one was not. And like, that's when I was just thinking, oh my gosh, they actually did it.
Yeah.
And this is just the trailer. Like the only other example I could think of that I last felt that was, I'm not going to spoil it because it's such a good experience if you haven't seen it, but the A Quiet Place movie. There's something that happens within like the first 5 minutes of that movie. And you're thinking everything's gonna end up. Oh shoot! They did that in the first 5 minutes. Like that's something that you do like at the end or something. And it's So they're willing to go all the way in this show. I guess they're not saving people. Like this girl will literally kill people.
Yeah.
And I think they even mentioned like that there's gonna be murder in it and stuff. But yeah, then I want to get to my concern, which at the end. You were talking about, the one thing that makes it so appealing is they are a fish out of water family. Like they're just the reason why it's a fun show back in the day is because, and why this looks fun is because you're putting a weird family that obviously has different cultural values into a world that literally has like the opposite of them. And so it's fun to see that interaction. And those were the best parts of the trailer. At the end of the trailer, they reveal that she's going to go to a school where people are similar to her. And I want to see more interaction with the real world with her. Like, now I'm like, it's a dang good trailer. I don't know if I'll be watching it. 'Cause it's definitely something I can't watch around my kids. I looked up the rating. It's going to be TVMA, which actually kind of, that surprised me too. Cause Addams Family is known to be, as gory as we talk about it, it's a family show because they keep it family friendly. But this is not a family show. So yeah, what do you think of that? That I would personally, I could be wrong, but I would personally like to see her interact more with the real world because that's what I found most captivating.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I agree with like back in the day it wasn't like a funny show, right? So
right.
So I don't know if they'll be trying to go more creepy than funny.
I think they will. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it, but it was interesting. It is a series, right? It's a show, not a movie.
It's a show, right?
Oh, it's a show. Yeah. So I don't know if after this trailer, I think I need to watch at least one episode to see if I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because if you bring memories from from the old show and everything, and because sometimes trailers like mislead us, right? Like they make a story in the trailer that's not exactly the story that the show will go, and stuff like that. So who knows? Or maybe like yeah, she'll move to a school that is similar, but not gonna be around that too much. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Like, I don't know what they were gonna do. I think they earn for me to watch the first episode at least with that trailer, and that's that's pretty much it. Then I'm gonna wait to see.
All right, let's get into our next topic, which is Cuphead. So I'm gonna look this up right now. Is this season 2? Because I know they already like did episodes, and I was planning, usually when they drop episodes, you don't see anything until like at least another year, where it takes usually another year for another season to come out. Like this, it's like only been a few months. I don't even know if this is like just a continuation. They did leave on a cliffhanger technically, but yeah. So we get a sneak peek of like there's already been trailers that come out, but I think we're talking about it just because there's actually more to show here, and it's Baroness von Bonbon, who has the the sugar castle and stuff. Actually, I'll let you lead this discussion because you kind of brought it up to talk about. So what do you want to talk about specifically from this?
Because like we have trailers, but I think this is the first time we see like 2 minutes of the show, right? And I'm excited.
Oh, by the way, it is season 2. Anyway,
it is season 2. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited to watch the bosses from the game, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm excited for it. I'm excited to watch more because when the bosses show, like the characters show in the first season, I was like, yeah, for the game, I know the reference. Like I know what's going on, and then you can see it, and so I'm excited with that. I really enjoyed the season 1. I laughed a bunch of times. I feel like it's silly jokes. I feel like it's like super old style humor that I used to watch, And with the 2 minutes, I'm already excited. I feel like it was, the perfect, like silly, no reason thing, and then the boss is trying to be bad, and then like getting in trouble for I don't know, for no reason, just to be just to be fun and joke around, and I like that too. I like that where this show just it's just like a fun thing to watch it. You don't need to carry too much about it, so I'm excited for that. And then watching 2 minutes was a perfect time to be it's gonna be good. Like I watch it and I'm like, that's gonna be good. Showing the bosses.
Yeah, unlike Wednesday, this is something I can watch on my kids, and they watched the whole first season with me. Because Cuphead really plays the over, he's crazy and he's an idiot, and kids like watching that stuff. So
yeah.
And I like watching all the Cuphead references, so it works out.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. So let's talk about our last topic, which we haven't really talked about Pokemon Unite on this channel. I'm a new Pokemon Unite player, and I can't believe I like it because I've hated MOBAs in the past. That's a different conversation, though. I won't talk about why I like Pokemon Unite, but I've been playing a lot of it. And the Pokemon World Championship is this weekend for, the trading card game, the video game, Pokemon Unite, Pokemon Go, Pokken for the 2 people that still play that game in this world. And they announced a new map. And the reason I bring this up is I'm learning how big Pokemon Unite is. I didn't realize the player base it has, even on a casual level. And they just announced a new map called Thea Sky Runes. Usually there's Zapdos in the middle. This time they're going to have Rayquaza. They're going to have Aselgor and Escavaliers, like the main jungle people, replacing Buffalant and Ludicolo. There's going to be Zadu. There's going to be Baltoy. Wait, is it Baneri? No, not Baneri. It's whatever Diggerby's basic stages. I can't. Baneri is Lopunny's, but whoever. Oh my gosh, I can't.
Yeah, I don't remember too.
But is it Bunnelby or something? It's anyways. I guess I could look it up, but but yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't think you watched it yet because I think I sprung it on you right before the podcast, right? But I just want to say that looks pretty sick. I don't know if anyone else is looking at it, but what I did want to talk to you about was something that I know you can contribute to is the new characters coming, and you don't know the new characters coming, right?
No, no.
Okay. So I just want, yeah. So let me announce them to you. So
Okay.
the first, so we just got, so recently this last month, we just got Buzzwole, Tyranitar, and Glaceon. Pretty standard picks, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we should have an episode where we talk about what characters we want. I don't know. I've been really getting into this game, man. I think that there's a lot of content we
That's
can get
good.
from it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's good, but the MOBA. But okay. So we're getting Scizor.
Ooh.
Yeah, Scizor seems pretty tight.
Yeah, I love it.
And then we're gonna get Mew.
That's good too. That's another
I think that one's like a little Gen 1 pandering. I think we have one legendary, which is Buzzwole, but. And by the way, to all you people in my videos that are saying that Ultra Beasts aren't legendaries, yes, they are. Like, just shut up. Like, I try to make the game more interesting. And I say, you know what? I'm going to ban legendaries. And they're like, how come you didn't use Nia Lego? It's not a legendary. It's an Ultra Beast.
It is legendary, yeah.
Yes, it's a type of legendary. Anyways. Yeah. I know what they mean, but like, stats and everything. Anyways, okay. But now so off those two picks, what kind of character do you think they'd add? I don't know. I'm not asking you to name a specific, but it sounds like there's certain qualifications to bring in a character, right?
Well, I can't figure out that.
Well, what I mean is Mew is iconic, right?
Yes.
Scizor's a fan favorite. Tyranitar's a pseudo legendary. Glaceon's an evolution. These are wanted characters, right?
Yeah. Well, I felt like the Ultra Beast. I don't know, because I didn't fall in love with the Ultra Beast. It was kind of weird for me to have in a game. And
do you still play this game?
No.
Okay.
But I saw I saw you playing that day, and I saw some other people playing every once in a while. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, anyways. I'm okay with this last pick because I like it when a Pokemon that's not popular, but I think is that I like still. I just don't think about it much. I don't want Dunsparce coming in the game, but
yeah.
Anyways, I'll just say it. Dodrio is going to be coming.
Oh my god!
Do you like Dodrio?
No, because when I'm serious. When you describe the Pokemon, no one. Dugtrio came to my mind. I was gonna joke, but I didn't want to interrupt.
No, wait, not Dugtrio.
Oh, okay.
Dodrio.
Okay, so that's almost the same. As far as oh my god. Well, see, I almost got it right, but because it's a Gen 1, I thought it was not gonna be a Gen 1. Actually, I thought they would. But,
I'm a little surprised they're doing Dodrio. That seems like a Pokemon that'd be a jungle Pokemon where you just go kill it. But hey, I it's like I said, it's neat enough where, it's a Gen 1 Pokemon that hardly gets any attention.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I imagine it's hard to balance it out. I actually surprised they have so many Pokemons now. Because
and this game seems so money hungry too, because it's every MOBA that's free to play, they suck your money in through $20 skins and stuff. People are gonna buy Scizor, people are gonna buy Mew, and I'm happy they're doing Dodrio, but if I put my business hat on, are people gonna buy Dodrio?
I don't know.
Obviously, there's gonna be those day oneers, but the casual people, I immediately went in and bought into Decidueye. Luckily, I had in-game money, but it wasn't expensive for whatever reason. That's insulting. But people are automatically going to go in. If someone's favorite character is Charizard, I bet Charizard makes them a lot of money because people just want Charizard.
Yeah.
But Dodrio, I don't know.
But I enjoy it. I feel like it's nice to have a character, a Pokemon that is out of place. I enjoy those games. I like trying to learn how to play with a Pokemon that a lot of people won't pick. I think it all depends on the play style, right? They probably want to something fast, something different.
It's gonna be the 5th speedster Pokemon.
Yeah,
there's not many speedsters. It's the least represented category.
Oh,
so Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the game. I just stopped playing it because I don't know. I went played something else. I actually got super mad at the price of the skins. That's one of the reasons.
Oh, they are so expensive.
Yeah.
I want this Decidueye, and it's $20. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's like, I feel like they're like way too much for a skin.
Right.
And because I don't know, like, if it's cheaper, would buy more, right? Like, you would put some money in one, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, you enjoy, you put some money in another one. But it's so expensive that you kind of like don't buy any.
Well, I think people do. I don't know. I think a lot of people buy skins.
Yeah, there's always the whales that
I think
they're targeting. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's different for us because like we're a different generation. But like my brother who plays Fortnite buys so many skins, and I think it's because he's 12 years younger than us, and he grew up on this method while we've been conditioned otherwise that you pay $60 for a full game. Kind of thing, so. But newer generations don't feel that way. That's my theory. I don't know if that's how true that is. But
Yeah. I feel like if you play like a game, if it's a free game and you play a lot, like I put money in Pokemon Go, for example. I never felt like putting money in a.
I'd rather buy $100 worth of skins than touch that game.
Yeah. But I was like enjoying.
Wait, was it to cook your eggs faster?
No, it wasn't.
I'm just. If you did, it's okay. You can admit it here. It's okay.
I don't remember.
Okay. Now that you're okay with it, I did.
It was to get more space. It was to get more space for Pokemon.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
space.
I felt like it was. I play a lot of it. So when it had like community day, I was like, I can put some money into it, and that's okay because it feels like I'm enjoying the game. Like the game deserves it, even though the company don't deserve it anymore. Because the company sucks. but it's okay, right? But I felt like it needs to be worth it still. And I feel like the Unite skins aren't worth it. They were like super expensive. And I mean, I enjoy that.
They are kind of a flex. Yeah. I kind of like that.
Yeah. And I feel like there's something that I'll always bring up as someone that is not from the United States is that they just grab the how much it is in the United States, and they just replicate that everywhere in the world. But there's a lot of places, especially in third world countries, where that's so much expensive for people to buy. And so like people will never experience that, because it's too expensive. So I don't like it. Like if they would put like, okay, that's the price in dollars. Now let's put the price for Brazilians, price for like other countries. Let's put a fair price, right? If it isn't fair for the United States, for other places, it's just like ridiculous, So people will never get it, and then I don't know. I felt like it's just a skin, right? I'll prefer that people have the opportunity to still put some money in the game, but get more value into it. Maybe if you get like 3 skins for this price, maybe that I'll buy 3 skins. I'll put that money in the game because I feel like okay, the game deserves this money, but for one, I'm not gonna buy it.
Well, that was a very long way of asking for a pay raise, Vissaw.
Can I get paid in skins?
All right. I think anything else you want to bring up today? I think that's all I got.
No, that's all I got too.
Cool. Well, as always, whether you're on YouTube or a podcast service, you can listen to us on either. If you want to suggest a main topic, leave a comment below and we may just talk about it. And I think that's going to do it. You all have a good one. Thanks.